Hi guys, it's Marie. Welcome back to my little English page. As you might know, I am half French, half Spanish, which means I am not a native English speaker. And because of that, a few of you have asked me how I learned English. So I decided to make this video and turn it into a listening exercise and just tell you how I learned English. So don't forget to look in the description below. You will find a link that will take you to the quiz so that you can follow along this video. The first thing that I need to mention is that in France, when I was in school, we started learning English at around 11 years old. At 11 years old, you start middle school in France. So we have 4 years of middle school and 3 years of high school. And during middle school and high school, you study English regularly, almost daily. Which means that when you leave high school, you should have about a B1 or a B2 of English. Now, I was not sure of what I wanted to do after high school, and I didn't want to go to university just for the sake of going and start something that I didn't like. So my stepmother told me about an exchange program that exists. The organization that I went with was called PIE, PI. And it allowed me to go to the United States for an entire year and go back to high school over there. I was in a host family that was an amazing family. They were all very nice, they helped me with my English, they were caring and loving, and that was an enormous part of the experience, and that made it beautiful. So during that whole year, obviously my English improved a lot, and I came back to France with an American accent. Then I started my degree in English and Spanish, which helped me perfect my English and my Spanish, obviously. In France, your last year of degree can be done in another country, which is called Erasmus. So I went to the University of Nottingham in the United Kingdom, and I was supposed to stay there for a semester, but I asked for an extension and was allowed to stay there the entire year. My accent changed a lot and became a lot more British. But you can sometimes hear a little bit of American English in the way I speak. There are some words that I just cannot say with a British accent. The word counter, for example, I need to say counter. After my Erasmus year, I had to come back to France, but I didn't want to. So I went back to the United Kingdom again for another year. I did 6 months, roughly 6 months in London, and then I moved to Cambridge for the rest of the year. Obviously, living in an English-speaking country is the best way to improve your language. But I am aware that not everybody has that great opportunity. So here are a few tips that you could follow to help improve your English. First, and I'm sorry, there's no avoiding this, you have to practice, and it should be a daily thing. I suggest you find something that you love doing and you do it in the language that you want to learn. For example, I felt that my Spanish had become weaker than my English, so I wanted to improve it. I absolutely love reading fantasy books, so now I only buy fantasy books in Spanish. So I am doing something that I enjoy, but I do it in Spanish. This way it improves. Another thing that you need to do is train your brain to understand English. I believe the most difficult skill to develop is listening. Yes, because there is no opening a book and learning how to listen. This is just practice. So you need to force yourself to listen to something in English every day. It could be watching TV, watching the news, going to the cinema and watching the movie in English, but it could also be listening to an audiobook in English. I always tell my students to put the radio in English when they're cleaning the house or even just doing household chores, or even if they're just talking with some friends, have something in English. Even if it's just a background noise, your brain is going to get used to it little by little, and this will really, really help you. Something else that I did to improve my vocabulary when I was learning English was I always carried a little notebook around. I would just go around the street and look at items and wonder, how would I say that in English? I would write them down, and on a weekly basis I would translate those words. Then whenever I was in the bus, queuing at the supermarket, I would just take out my little notebook and look at the words that I had written to just review them, and it will automatically stick in your brain. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found the video useful and interesting. Please don't forget to have a look at the quiz down below and to subscribe to the channel for more updates on upcoming video. Meanwhile, have a great Christmas break and see you soon. Bye bye!